You have the distinction of being the only senior not going on to college.
Susanna Kaysen.
Some kind of a stunt.
May I ask what you plan to do?
I don't have a plan. I just don't want to end up like my mother.
Women today have more choices than that.
No, they don't.
There's something happening here.
When I read the book, I was in a way sad that I hadn't read it when I was a teenager. I really could have used that when I was about 16, 17, 18.
I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
I think Susanna Kaysen was rebellious, and I think she was really smart, and she saw through so many of the rules that were handed to her at that moment.
I'm puzzled as to why I have to be in a mental institution.
You chased a bottle of aspirin with a bottle of vodka.
I had a headache.
It's really about growing up. That's the thing that struck a chord with all of us.
To me, it could take place in any time and have the same emotional result.
The best place in the world for someone like you is less than a half an hour from here.
You don't mean Claymore.
He decided after 20 minutes that I was bananas and I needed to be locked up. And he told me I would stay there for 2 weeks just to have a little rest.
Bye-bye.
But it didn't turn out to be that way.
It's so easy to slip. It's so easy to fall.
Anybody could end up in one of these places. You or me or anybody that we know.
Call me a cab.
Okay, you're a cab.
Good to be home.
They're just normal people who follow their impulses and instincts completely.
Who are you?
Where's Jamie?
What the hell are you doing, Lisa?
At first, they all seemed very extreme and frightening.
What are they? That help you sleep?
Oh, I don't need them.
Are we going to have a problem?
Thank you.
No problem.
But very quickly, they all seemed not only maybe normal, but even more truthful than the world outside, more connected to themselves.
How many guys would I have to sleep with to be considered promiscuous, textbook promiscuous? 10, 8, 5. And how many girls would a guy my age have to sleep with to be considered promiscuous? 10, 20, 109.
Is there something about sex that lifts your feelings of despair?
Have you ever had sex? As complex as it is, it's very funny.
Take one step and I'll jam this in my aorta.
Lisa, your aorta is in your chest.
Good to know.
There was some connection amongst all these girls where they're looking out for each other, and while they tease and do things, they're all very, very connected.
They felt like a group, and that made me happy because that was an important part of why I liked being in the loony bin to the extent that I did, and it was an important part of the book.
Highs and lows increasingly severe. Lisa thinks she's hot because she's a sociopath.
I'm a sociopath.
No, you're gay.
Uncertainty about goals and a generally pessimistic attitude are often observed. Oh, that's me.
That's everybody.
Action!
The book is like a letter I wrote myself.
Polly Clark!
And it so surprises me that it meant something to so many people.
All right, Noni, stepping over now to look down the field. You take your pills, you blah, 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 and see, this is what I'm seeing.
I bought the book in 1993. Right away, every actress in America sent out feelers saying they wanted to do it. Winona was one of the early people to come forward, so she became attached as Susanna and was a very vigorous partner.
Susanna Kaysen. Susanna Kaysen.
Susanna Kaysen was incredibly courageous and honest to talk about what she went through. Both of us were scared to meet each other.
I felt very close to her, a strange kind of kinship. I really wanted to give her assurance that it was okay with me, that she was doing this, that I trusted her. The book is sketchy in a way. It's kind of open and bare.
No one thought it could be adapted. I didn't even think it could be adapted.
What?
I just wanted to try.
You think you're just being in with her. I know, you know.
Literally, the first person who had a clue was Jim Mangold.
He's grabbing the railing. I met with her, Winona, and said the only thing I would do with this kind of story is make it really gritty, really vital.
You don't need to be here.
I tried to kill myself, Toby.
What? You took some aspirin.
I took a bottle of aspirin.
Wait, and that buys you a year in this place? Susanna, they're breaking you.
Everything is through my eyes. If the audience isn't with me, if I'm not helping them to see things how I'm seeing them, it's not going to work. And that was something that I had to work very, very closely with Jim on.
He's basically like a cop going, you were speeding and blah, 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 and you're going, bum, 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 and he's like, okay. And so it's like, there's kind of...
work for me.
Yeah, no, but...
Even when you're losing the light and everything's crazy and you have to rap, you still feel like you can take him aside and talk to him if you need to.
They're very brilliant, but we'll go one more time. Action.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown.
Downtown, and then I'll kind of...
Yeah, and then you just take it in.
The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, and go downtown.
So you're gonna get me fired.
When you're downtown, no further place.
Cut!
Flash.
Beautiful, everyone hold position. Wonderful.
Susanna is the opposite of Lisa. She judges things. She's inside a lot.
The goal for me was to somehow really get inside this head, and at no point in the journey with her, through this battle with her own psyche, would we kind of look at her as this strange person whose behavior we couldn't connect with. Over the 2 years I worked on the script, I also got to know Winona very well. And I really tried to take the connections between the woman in this book and between who she is and merge them.
She was a rich kid from Boston who ended up in a hospital. I've had anxiety attacks. And I did go to a hospital when I was 20 years old.
Order and restraints. Aspirin fragments and vodka, I think.
But even very, very smart people I know say, you have it all. And I saw a parallel with her not needing anything material. But her problems are very real.
I'm a great fan of silent movies. I think of Winona first and foremost as a brilliant silent actress. She needs very few words. She has incredibly powerful eyes. Winona and Angelina are incredibly close to their roles and can find great pieces of themselves within these people.
Can I bum one?
Angie's so authentic.
Go ahead.
And I think a lot of that comes from her believing, without any question, everything she's saying.
I would say that you're putting your career at serious risk.
Well, you think because of your condition you have the right to push people around? I'm sorry, that is truly pathetic.
Truly?
Yeah, damn right, truly.
Angie is an incredibly forceful young woman and is proud to not have too much of a filter.
I have an appointment. 11 o'clock, Gia Marie Karanji. G what? G-I-A. There, Gia.
She's very upfront, she's very direct, and she's a real fighter. And all of her qualities really paralleled with what makes Lisa so captivating and makes Susanna kind of fall in love with her.
You lie down, you confess your secrets, and you're saved. Ka-ching!
But what if you don't have a secret?
Then you're a lifer like me. I really expected this character to be upsetting to me. She's not.
Hey, girls!
I'm enjoying it. I'm not shaking her off. As a young person, she was probably just more volatile or more expressive than the average person thinks is necessary. Can I have a vanilla sundae with hot fudge, whipped cream, cherries, and
nuts?
In Lisa's case, I felt like she was what Susanna, in a lot of ways, wanted to be.
Let's go.
She's so connected to her rage, to her wit, to completely not obeying rules.
Come on, we gotta split.
Hey, somebody stop her! She took my boy!
She's surrounded by a bunch of girls who are hiding under all these masks because they're afraid. And that makes her angry. It breaks her out and she tries to shake everything up.
What's this, huh? What's this?
Let go. I'm trying out your new silver.
Lisa!
Look at your own arm.
I'm sick, Daisy. We know that.
Lisa does terrible things.
How dare you! Hey, some advice, okay? Just don't point your finger at crazy people.
The amazing thing about Angelina is she has something that Jack Nicholson has.
Stop it!
Which is that she can do very bad things and somehow do them in a way that she remains fascinating.
Lisa! Upper! Don't do that!
At some point, Lisa's love of anarchy and fun and rebellion, it's just a dead end.
We figured tonight we'd have a little salon, little read aloud. Lisa's eyes, once so magnetic, now just look empty.
Lisa, that is mine.
She's a sociopath, so they don't have that switch of what's moral or what's rational.
What are you doing, Lisa?
I'm playing the villain, baby, just like you want. It's the thing when you grow up in a cage, but it's home.
Lisa's been here for 8 years. Do not drop anchor here. They're mirror images, and basically, Susanna is seeing herself, the person she could become if she doesn't take another road.
It's a very big question you're faced with.
Will I stay or will I go?
Am I sane or am I crazy?
What you don't know when you're 17 is that it's going to be bad for a while, but then it's going to be good again.
We all enter worlds in which we are forever changed by the people we meet. These people don't become a part of our lives forever. They come in and they change us forever, and they're in our hearts forever. But then it's time to move on.
What do you plan to do? I plan to write.
Cut. Beautiful.
The objective is to accept what you can and to try to move through it and take with you the stuff that haunts you because it's part of who you are.
Right on.